G'day, Dan and Josh at the Acoustic Centre with something completely different for you today. It's been a long time since we've had one of these in the shop. It's a Weissenborn style Hawaiian lap slide guitar, actually made right here in Victoria. But before we get to the guitar itself, like Joshy, when we first started at the shop, isn't it amazing how music is like fashion? It's like clothes, it goes in and out of fashion. When we started at the shop, we'd have 4 or 5 of these things in stock at any one time. And all these artists such as Ben Harper, John Butler, Xavier Rudd, even Robert Randolph and these guys, slide playing was everywhere.
Yeah.
And not so much anymore, but we're here to bring it back.
Well, funny you should say that. It's interesting because, Weissenborns themselves are kind of a victim of fashion and things going in and out of fashion.
Right
well.
from the beginning.
From the beginning, So this shape and this instrument is one of my favourite instruments to look at. So I guess
you have one yourself.
I've
right?
got one myself. I don't get to play it a lot, but I absolutely love it. I've got one made by an Australian builder as well. But as you say, they became quite popular.
20s.
In the 20s and 30s, in the Hawaiian music boom of the 20s, because American musicians, Western slide and slide in a Hawaiian sense, there's a crossover there.
Yeah.
So, you'd have your Hawaiian shirt on during the week and playing Hawaiian music, and then you'd play some slide guitar in country swing, country and Western swing styles, So it's an interesting instrument, but it was sort of like they wanted an instrument that was a bit louder. So the main point of a Weissenborn is that it's an acoustic guitar, but as you can see on the side, it's hollow all the way up the neck.
It's an extraordinary design.
Yeah. And as you can see, it's just a stunning shape.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful shape of an instrument.
This is a Carson-Crickmore built Weissenborn style guitar. We should note there is a difference between an actual Weissenborn, which was built by our friend,
Herman Weissenborn.
Herman Weissenborn invented the instrument.
Well, it's debated whether he invented the instrument, but he became very famous for building the instrument. Yeah.
So this is a Weissenborn style guitar.
Yeah. Again, and we spoke about this all the time, like he is a German builder, and he starts building it in close to LA.
Right.
Like all things seem to be built in LA.
Hawaiian instruments.
Yeah, and this is just before, electricity's, instruments started to get electrified. And then what sort of put them a little bit out of fashion was the fact that national instruments came along and dobro instruments came along, which were much louder again, because even though this is a loud instrument, it's not a really loud instrument. It's still quite subtle, as you can hear.
Warm.
Yeah, it's warm.
Yeah.
Doesn't have that projection like other instruments. You can get it's just a stunning sound. You can get pretty lost in it. And there's not many guitars, apart from dobros, that you're actually playing it up
on
to
your
yourself.
lap.
Or the sound is coming up.
Right.
An electric lap steel is not really being played to yourself. It's amplified. But yeah, it's an interesting experience.
What tuning have you got that in?
It's just an open D.
I'm very sorry I've made you play this today. I know you're a bit out of touch. You used to play them all the time.
Yeah, it's just you just sit there and get lost in
sound.
it. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
So Carson-Crickmore is an Australian builder. We've been stocking his guitars for quite a while. He makes traditional OMs and dreadnoughts, but he brought this in recently and we were just blown away by this one. It's old growth Tasmanian Blackwood back and sides, which is an acacia, so related to the original Koa ones, virtually the same sound, really. And a Sitka top on this one. He does incredible sunbursts. He does a kind of a unique, it's almost a brown sunburst, I guess. We love it.
And the other difference with this one compared to a traditional Weissenborn too is it's a spruce top.
Yeah.
Instead of a Koa top.
Right.
So, again, this is Blackwood, but Blackwood and Koa are pretty much the same species. As each, and they look pretty much the same as well. Yeah. So, I mean, you're seeing a lot of lap slide players like Lark and Poe playing a lot of lap steel. Like that's there's a new generation of amazing lap steel players. You know, in the forefront, there's always amazing lap steel players, and there's always amazing slide players. But yeah, Weissenborns, they're not quite as in fashion at the moment, but my God, what an instrument!
I mean, if you're a slide player, if you're a traditional guitar player, these feel very foreign. You're holding a slide like this; it's on your lap. But if you've grown up playing dobro or slide guitar or lap steel, you're going to have no problem playing one of these, and it's going to have a sound completely different to any electronic slide guitar.
Yeah, nothing sounds like a Weissenborn.
Yeah.
A Weissenborn, it's a very distinct tonality, and it's an amazing sound, and it's, as I said, because you're playing the instrument towards yourself, there's not many guitars you play up.
Right.
So you sort of it's got that three-dimensional quality of, so you get lost in the tonality of it. So that's why I've got the microphone pointed down.
Very good.
And you had a bit of a go. If you don't play slide, or bottleneck or lap, it's a difficult thing to get into. But once you do, it's a whole world of exploration, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, apart from the playing aspect, it's just such a stunning instrument.
Yeah, it is.
When he brought this in, I was like, oh my God.
That was just a gorgeous thing to have in the house.
Beautiful.
Really.
It's absolutely stunning. You know,
Well, that's about it. We just wanted to show you something a bit different today because it's been several years since we had a Weissenborn style guitar in the shop, and we're excited to have such a beautiful one. It's on the website now. Thanks very much, Joshy. Take us out with a few slides. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Keep ringing. Yeah.